As we were discussing about contractual liabilities, contractual power, and power to sue and be sued of the government. In regard to this, there is one more article, Article 294, which is not in our syllabi. That's why I have not discussed it. Yesterday we have discussed Article 298. Today is the turn of Article 299, which shows how the trade will run by the government, how government will contract, who will be the parties to the contract, what are the essential of the contracts which are made by the government. So for that, I'm sharing on your screen. These are the constitutional provisions with respect to the contractual liability of the state. Article 294 provides for the succession to property, assets, rights, liabilities, obligation to the present government of the union and state. This is not in our syllabi, that's why we are not discussing it. The next one is 298. The government can enter into a contract for purpose of carrying out the functions of the state. This we have discussed yesterday. Today, we are going to discuss Article 299, which deals with the certain essential formalities which the government must fulfill while entering into a contract. So, before going deep into the article, we just know that what are the principles in regard to these contracts. Liabilities of the state is the contract should be reasonable and fair. It should be in the interest of the public, and it should have the essence of equality and non-arbitrariness. It should have these three principles should consist in the articles in the contract which are made by the government. They should be reasonable, fair, they should be in the public interest, they should have the essence of equality, and they should be non-arbitrary. Now coming on to the Article 299, the words of the Article 299, all contracts made in the exercise of the executive power of the union or of a state, yani the power which is given under Article 298 shall be expressed. This must be the important point to be noted, that the contract should be in the express form. They cannot be the oral. The contract, we have studied two kinds of the contract, implied contracts and the express contract. The government contract should always be expressed, to be made by the president or by the governor of the state, as the case may be. And all such contracts and all assurance of property made in the exercise of that power shall be executed on behalf of the president or governor or by such person in such manner as may be direct or authorized. यानी जब आप एग्जीक्यूट कराएंगे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, तो उसमें एग्जीक्यूटिंग पार्टी अगर यूनियन का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है तो प्रेसिडेंट होगी, और अगर स्टेट का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है तो गवर्नर होगा. The point to be noted in the clause 1 is that the contract should always be expressed. It cannot be implied contract. Now, the second clause of Article 299 is the immunity of the governor and the president from these contracts. You cannot make president or governor liable, personally liable, for imposing or enforcement of those contracts. They are officially liable, but they are not personally liable for those things. Neither the president nor the governor shall be personally liable in respect of any contract or assurance made or executed for the purpose of this constitution or for the purpose of any enactment relating to the government of India heretofore in force, nor shall any person making, executing any such contract or assurance on behalf of any of them personally liable in respect thereof. किसी की पर्सनल लाइबिलिटी नहीं बनेगी, ऑफिशियल लाइबिलिटी होगी, एनफोर्सिंग पार्टीज गवर्नर और प्रेसिडेंट होंगे, लेकिन गवर्नर अगर ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो जाता है तो गवर्नर या प्रेसिडेंट की सैलरी काट के उस ब्रीच को फुलफिल नहीं किया जाएगा, ना ही कोई प्रॉपर्टी अटैच होगी। जैसे कि और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में हम देखते हैं कि प्रॉपर्टी अटैच कर दी जाती है ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के सेंस में, या कुछ और इस तरीके की चीजें हैं, तो प्रेसिडेंट एंड गवर्नर विल नॉट बी लायबल। अब इसको फर्दर एक एक करके समझते हैं। ऑल सच कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मस्ट बी मेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट और द गवर्नर। जो गवर्नमेंट के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होंगे वो या तो प्रेसिडेंट के नाम से बने होंगे या गवर्नर के नाम से। ऑल सच कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स टू बी एग्जीक्यूटेड बाय सच पर्संस टू whom the president or the governor may direct or authorize। सिर्फ वही लोग एग्जीक्यूट करा पाएंगे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स को। All such contracts which were made in the exercise of the executive power are to be executed on behalf of the president or governor। ठीक है। Further, the Article 299 Clause 1 also provide that the contract has to be in writing in order to be valid, and if there is an oral contract, the same cannot be binding on the government। ये तो एक जनरल रूल है। The contract of the government should be in writing. It should be expressed and in writing, and it will not be valid if it is an oral contract, and same cannot be binding on the government, और उसको हम गवर्नमेंट से एनफोर्स नहीं करा सकते। Contract must be entered into or executed by a person, यानी जो अथॉरिटी को ऑथोराइज किया गया है वही आदमी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को एग्जीक्यूट कराएगा। इस आर्टिकल का ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है? पहला ऑब्जेक्ट है टू सेफगार्ड द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, टू सेफगार्ड द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट। अदरवाइज पेटी कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करते रहेंगे और गवर्नमेंट को लॉसेस होंगे। To protect the government against unauthorized contractors. These are the two objectives of Article 299: to protect the government against the unauthorized contract and to safeguard the interest of the government. Further, dealing with Article 299 Clause 2, it provided government should not be held liable under Article 299. In other words, it can be said that neither the president nor the government shall be held personally liable in respect of the contract executed for the purpose of the Constitution or for the purpose enactment relating to the government of India. It also provided personal immunity to the person if he makes contract on behalf of the president or the governor. Not going deep into the Article 300, I am coming back. The Article 299 mainly works in two senses. The first clause tells who will form the government, who will form the contract. That is the president and the governor. The clause 2 ensures that both the president and the governor will not be held personally liable. इसको पहले कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के सेंस में समझने की कोशिश कीजिए। आई एम जस्ट स्टॉपिंग द रिकॉर्डिंग टू टेल यू फॉर द बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग वी हैव टू लुक इनटू सेक्शन 10 ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट along with section 299, because the thing which is given under section 299 that the contract should be expressed. We have to understand from the contract act what are express contract. Although there are certain case laws which also permit the oral contract, I'll let you know in the PPTs which I will share after completing the Article 300. But till now you understand that the contract should be express. Contract is express and contract is in written form. They both are the different thing. Contract is in express form or express contract एंड ओरल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। देखिए दोनों के साथ अलग अलग वर्ड है। एक्सप्रेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के साथ जो दूसरा वर्ड आता है वो आता है इम्प्लाइड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। ओरल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के साथ जो दूसरा वर्ड आता है वो आता है रिटन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। तो दे आर different together. They are not same, they are different. So for this point, at this point of view, I could assume that you all get an adequate information about Article 299. It has two clauses. One is related, who will enforce the contract, who will be the parties to the contract. In the state, the governor will be the party. In the union, it will be the president. Along with this, clause 2 of Article 299 gives the immunity to both of these or the persons authorized by them from enforcing of the contract. They are not personally liable. So these are the two parts of Article 299. We also discussed that the principles which will be dealt in the contract, that should the contract should be fair, they should not be arbitrary, they should be in the public interest, they should have the essence of equality. The object of this particular article to promote the trade done by the government, which is given under the it is this article is in the constitution just to enrich the essence of Article 298. Article 298 में परमिशन तो मिल गई ट्रेड बिजनेस करने की. Article 19 clause 1 सब Article 19 clause 6 सब clause 2 में रोक भी दिया गया बाकी लोगों को कि जो गवर्नमेंट चाहे तो आप पे रेस्ट्रिक्शन लगा सकती है जिन कामों के नहीं, वो सब हो गया. लेकिन इम्यूनिटी प्रेसिडेंट क्यों अपने ऊपर पर्सनली लायबिलिटी लेगा? उसकी इम्यूनिटी 299 क्लॉज 2 में दी गई है. किस तरीके से वो ट्रेड चलेगा, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के थ्रू चलेगा, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कौन बनाएगा, दिस इज गिवन अंडर आर्टिकल 299. नाउ आई एम आस्किंग वन बाय वन अबाउट द गोइंग टू टेक द मुस्लिम लॉ लेक्चर afterwards. Means after completing Article 300 tomorrow, I am going to take the Muslim law lectures, the revision as well as the regular lectures in that regard from day after tomorrow. Okay, that's I think good for this.